Hey, what's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist and today doing a Time Thief deck profile. So I'm really excited to do something for you guys because this deck is an extremely powerful XZ deck that I've included all sorts of spicy tech cards in this build for you guys. So without further ado, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell in there so you can become part of notification squad, and definitely check out the Patreon down in the description below for all those awesome rewards. I get your name description every single video, getting assigned cards in the mail, and even getting to request a deck profile every single month to your Patreon. So without further ado, let's get straight on into this. So first off, we're playing 3 copies of Time Thief Winder. This card is one of the best cards in the entire deck because you can detach a material from an XZ monster you control and special summon this card from your hand. And if it's normal or special summon, you can add a Time Thief card from your deck to your hand except another copy of this card, which is an awesome ability to be able to use because this card instantly gets you to any Time Thief card and an extender. We then play 3 copies of Regulator. Regulator is basically Rescue Rabbit for the deck. This card is able to control no other monsters. You can trigger this card and then special summon 2 Time Thief monsters with different names from your deck in defense position except another copy of Regulator, which is an awesome ability to instantly get 2 Time Thief cards on your side of the field. We then play 3 copies of Adjuster. Adjuster is an amazing extender in the deck. This card is the ability, if you no longer special summon a Time Thief monster, except a copy of Adjuster, you can special summon this card from your hand, which is a great ability to instantly get this card out on your side of the field. And if this card is normal or special summon, you can send a Time Thief card from your deck to the graveyard, which is an awesome ability to also send the exact Time Thief card you need in the grave. We then play 2 copies of Bezel Ship. Bezel Ship is really cool in the deck as a 2-of because this card is a quick effect. You can tribute this card and then target a Time Thief XZ monster you control and attach a card from your opponent's graveyard to that monster as a material. And if this card's in the graveyard, you can detach a material from an XZ monster you control and then special summon this card but banish when it leaves the field, making it one of the best targets to send to the graveyard off your copy of Adjuster. We then play a single copy of Chronocoder. Chronocoder is just a great 1-of in the deck just to be able to play an additional Time Thief monster, and it's a great combo piece in the deck. We then play 3 copies of Aratama. The Spirit Engine is so good in this deck to help you go in for your XZ plays, because this card has the ability, if this card is normal summoned out to your side of the field, you get to add a Spirit monster from your deck to your hand, which is a great ability to search out your copy of Sakitama. Sakitama is definitely a 3-of as well in the deck. So you can actually reveal this card in your hand, and it allows you to normal summon a Spirit monster to your side of the field in addition to your normal summoner set, instantly getting you an additional level 4 out on your side of the field so you can go in for your XZ plays. We then play the Spriggans package, starting off with a single copy of Rocky. Rocky is really good as a combo piece in the deck. You want to be able to play this card to work with your copy of Tally Ho. We then play a single copy of Pador and a single copy of Brothers. These cards are really good in the deck to be able to play to basically just use your copy of Tally Ho so that you can summon them out to your side of the field and go in for your XZ plays. It's a really cool combo in this deck, and it's an amazing engine to be able to play. We then play a single copy of Terverion King Regulus. Terverion King Regulus is great in the deck as a 1-of because this card just helps you as a walking gate, plus it is searchable in the build, so this card is great in the deck overall to be able to just summon out to your side of the field by targeting one of your machine monsters in the graveyard. You can instantly summon this card out to your side of the field, which is such a powerful effect. We can also play 3 copies of Ash Blossom. Ash Blossom's great in the deck as a 3-of to instantly use this card to stop your opponent from touching the deck. And we also play 3 copies of Effect Veiler. Effect Veiler is great in the build as a 3-of to basically just stop your opponent's monster effects. So that's it for the monsters, guys. Let's get into the spells. So for the spells, we're going to start with a single copy of Called by the Grave. Called by the Grave is really good as a 1-of in the deck to basically just stop your opponent from hand trapping you while you're going in for all of your plays. We play a single copy of Armored XZ. Armored XZ is great in this deck as a 1-of because it is searchable off your copy of Armored XZ Fortress, and this card is really good in the deck to help you basically upgrade your XZ monsters. We then play a single copy of Time Thief Startup. Startup is really good as a 1-of in the deck, but you really only need a single copy of this card. It lets you special summon a Time Thief monster from your hand to your side of the field, which is a great ability just to extend your plays. We then play a single copy of Tally-Ho Spriggans. This card is great in the deck as a 1-of to help you summon out a bunch of Spriggans to your side of the field, and it's very easy to do in this deck because you do play your copy of Merrymaker and Champion Sargus in the extra deck to be able to get to this card, so you can basically just summon out a bunch of Spriggans to your side of the field so you can go in for your XZ plays. We then played 2 copies of Triple Tactics Talent. Triple Tactics Talent is a great 2-of in the build to either let you draw 2 cards, take control of an opponent's monster, or look at your opponent's hand and choose a card from it and shuffle it into the deck, which is just really good to be able to do with this card, but this card is definitely a 2-of in the build. So, that's it for the spells, guys. Let's get into the traps. So for the traps, we're going to start with a single copy of Full Armored XZ. Full Armored XZ is great as a 1-of in the build. Search off your copy of your Fortress to basically just upgrade your card into Dark Knight Lancer. This card is great in the build as a 1-of, and just a really good card overall to be able to use with your copy of Dark Knight Lancer. We then play a single copy of Flyback. Flyback is great as a 1-of in the build to be able to use in this deck, because this card is a great effect that lets you target a Time Thief XZ monster you control and attach a Time Thief card from your hand or deck to it as a material, and also banish a card from the graveyard to target a Time Thief XZ monster you control, and attach a card from your opponent's graveyard to it as a material, which is a pretty cool effect to be able to use to instantly get the exact material you need under one of your copies of Redoer. We then play a single copy of Time Thief Retrograde. Retrograde is a great counter trap in the deck that has the ability when a spell or trap card is activated while you control a Time Thief XZ, negate the activation we do, attach that card to a Time Thief XZ monster you control as a material, which is a pretty cool ability to basically just negate a spell or trap. We also play 3 copies of Shade Brigandine. Shade Brigandine is definitely a 3-of in the build to be able to use to basically get a trap under your copy of Redoer to get its best effect to go off. And this card special summons itself to your side of the field as a level 4 monster with 0 attack and 300 defense. It's a Warrior Dark monster, and it's great in the build as a 3-of because it can instantly activate itself, which is amazing. If you have no trap in your graveyard, you can activate this card the same turn it was set, which is such a cool ability to instantly get you a monster out on your side of the field, making this basically an extender. So that's it for the main deck, guys. Let's get in to the extra deck. So for the extra deck, we're going to start off with Time Thief Redoer. This card is an amazing boss monster for the deck that has some really cool abilities. Once per turn, during the standby phase, you can attach the top card of your opponent's deck to this card as a material, and quick effect, you can detach up to 3 materials with different types from this card to be able to apply the following effects depending on what you detach. If you detach a monster, banish this card until the end phase. If you detach a spell, draw a card. If you detach a trap, place a face-up card your opponent controls on the top of the deck, which is an amazing ability. And why don't you actually play Shade Brigandine in the deck to be able to make this card using Shade Brigandine to be able to get that trap effect. We then play a single copy of Petrula. This card is really good as a 1-of in the deck because this card is just so powerful to be able to use next to your copy of Redoer. This card is really during the standby phase, you can detach a material from this card, then you can target a Time Thief monster in your graveyard except to copy this card and special summon that monster, and quick effect, you can target one of their XZ monsters you control and attach a Time Thief card from your deck to it as a material, which is why I do play 2 different Time Thief trap cards in the deck to be able to attach to your copy of Redoer. We then play a single copy of Double Barrel. Double Barrel is really cool as a 1-of in the deck, but this card is okay next to your copy of Redoer, but it has its place in the deck. This card has the ability that when your opponent activates a card effect, you can detach up to 3 different types from this card, and then you basically get different effects based on what you detach, but your opponent has to do something in order for you to be detaching. This card has the ability, if it's a monster, this card gains basically 400 attack. If it's a spell, take control of one face of monster your opponent controls until the end phase, but it cannot declare an attack nor activate its effects, and the trap negate the effects of one effect monster on the field until the end of turn, which again is the best effect on this card to be able to use with the trap. We then play a single copy of Baguska. Baguska is really good as a 1-of in the build because it is a rank 4 build, so this card is really good in the deck overall. 1 copy of Gaga Gaga Magician. Gaga Gaga Magician is really good in the deck as 1-of to be able to help you summon out your copy of Utopic Future, and then in turn your copy of Draco Future. We then play a single copy of Number 60. Number 60 is great in this build to help you either OTK, extend your plays, or just dig in the deck, because this card lets you draw 2 and discard a card, double the attack points of one monster you control until the end of the turn, or it has the ability to let you special summon a monster from the grave in defense, which is great to be able to do in this deck. We play a single copy of Merrymaker. Merrymaker is actually one of the first cards you're going to summon out in this extract because you can instantly step into your copy of Gigantic Champion Sargus. And Sargus is great because this card has the ability, if this card has a material, you're going to add a Spriggans or a Therion card from your deck to your hand, making it so that you can instantly get your copy of Tally Ho, so you can summon out a bunch of Spriggans to your side of the field. These are really good in the deck overall and just an amazing engine to be able to play. And then for the Armored XZ cards, we're going to start off with Fortress. Fortress is the only other card you need besides Dark Knight Lancer in this deck, as this card searches out your Armored XZ cards from the deck, but you cannot use this card as a material if it has materials under this card, so it's really important that you do not have XZ materials under this card when you summon it out, or after you activate its effect, so you can step into your copy of Dark Knight Lancer. And let's see a copy of Dark Knight Lancer. Dark Knight Lancer is really good in the deck as one of, and is summonable off the Trap card or the Spell card, and it's just really good in this deck to be able to make on your side of the field. It's a big boss monster that's hard to deal with. You can play a single copy of Utopic Future and a single copy of Utopic Draco Future. This card is a walking negate and very easy to make in this build. We then play a single copy of Zeus and a single copy of Typhon. These cards are really good overall in the build to be able to summon out. Your copy of Zeus is a board wipe, and Typhon is just so easy to summon in any deck, so it's really good in this build. So that's it for the deck, guys. I hope you enjoyed. This deck is so fun to be able to play. If you guys have not played a Time Thief deck before, you should definitely give this deck a try because it's so fun to be able to play, and it's a really cool rank 4 deck. So that's good for this one, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell in there so you can become part of notification squad, and we'll see you guys in the next video. See you later, guys.